everyone, on today's episode of Huber Hype, we're going exploring to different environments. Hey everyone, I'm in China right now when you're watching this. I don't know, man. I'm probably lost in some backdoor shady deal, some back alleyway. But today we are talking about some of the jolliest and coziest and just phantasmical environments in all of video games that just get me excited and take me to another world. Let's get started. First up is forests. During one of the 98 hours it took me to beat The Witcher 3, I just stood in some of their many forests for 20 minutes and would just stare. There's nothing like a great forest. Specifically, Darkroot Basin. One of the all-time greatest environments in Dark Souls. Because, you know, the game, you're in a lot of castles, a lot of corridors, a lot of bleak places. We got Blight Town, it's depressing. Nobody wants to be there. You go down into that Darkroot Basin, you feel like you're Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Another one that transcends an environment and becomes part of the story context, The Legend of Zelda Lost Woods. Tasking you on a journey, Link to the Past, Twilight Princess, in search of the legendary blade, the Master Sword. Man, nothing gets me more excited than a jolly town. Just being out on an adventure like in Ni no Kuni, right? You're out in the wild, you're battling foes, you're fighting for your life, and then you just get to some jolly town like Ding Dong Dell. Good vibes. You know, you can talk to the locals, you just have a nice rest after, you know, grinding it out in the woods that you were just in or in the desert. You can just relax and calm down and then spend your hard-earned cash on goods. We could have an entire Huber Hype based on just Final Fantasy towns alone. Specifically, Final Fantasy IX Treno gives me a medieval, just some like 1940s barroom piano vibe going on in the background the whole time. Just captures a mood. But really, there's only one town that has captured my heart like no other. A town that I am probably in right now as you are watching this. Hong Kong from the original Deus Ex. You go here, you get in a triad war, you buy tickets for the club for 2 Australian chicks, you go to Jacques' secret apartment as he's spying on Maggie Chow, the Illuminati is on your tail, and the music is just good vibes. Next on the list, something I love as much as jolly, cozy. Man, there's just something about the warmth of an environment that I love that just brings a smile to my face, or I can just relax in and have fun. Resident Evil Spencer Mansion does just that. Got those candlelight candles, you got the fireplace there, just radiating heat. Man, I could just sit in some of those rooms for days just staring at the walls, dispatching zombies, killing hunters, and hunting down Albert Wesker. Another great one that I just want to visit because I love it so much, just because it feels so good. I mean, it's a place I could live. Yarnum, Bloodborne. I mean, the whole aesthetic, it's like one giant outdoor haunted mansion. You got smog everywhere, you got foul beasts. I mean, the residents are great. They got monsters running around. They clearly own the city, you know? You can just lock your door. You know, you're looking for a blood transfusion. That's fine. You know, the environments are varied and just that architecture would make Da Vinci weep. Lastly, we've got abstract / miscellaneous / only in video games. I'm thinking of you specifically, BioShock. Man, remember when Rapture first came out? How magical that was? God, I remember that plane crashing in the very beginning of BioShock. I had a buddy over. We were sitting on my floor watching that. The controller was down because we thought it was a cutscene. You know, you wake up in the water. We're just staring at the screen for a good 45 seconds waiting for something to happen because it just looked so good. Then you just go to that lighthouse, you go down into the tunnel and just rapture, man. It's magnificent, it's beautiful, it's imaginative. Man, then they took things to another level. They have Columbia, the floating cloud city mixed with a 1930s Boardwalk Empire vibe. And even games like Unfinished Swan, you are in basically a blank environment and you are filling it in with paint, and your imagination and your creativity is just filling and giving this video game world life. Man, there's not a lot of color in that game for a while, and then when you go up to that ledge and you look down and you see the giant hedge maze straight out of The Shining, it would make Stanley Kubrick weep. Man, it'd be hard not to mention Super Mario Galaxy as well in this conversation, because that is just taking pure creativity and mathematical engineering to create the perfect platformer. Everything about that game is flawless. That's it. But lastly, I want to give one shout out to the king of them all. A game that has forests. A game that has towns, some of the best in the biz. A game that is just so cozy, it's like going to Disneyland every time I play it. Dragon Quest VIII, Journey of the Cursed King. The feeling I get from that game, it touches my heart, my mind, my body, my soul, everything about it. I want nothing more than an HD release of that game, or just release it on PSN. Let's get that game to the masses. Let's get it out there. Give everyone a shot to play a true classic JRPG. So that's it for environments. Just a very, very important part of any video game for me. I like to feel like I'm in a place, and I like to look at it. You know, I still get a lot of heat and a lot of criticism for just not liking Fallout 3. And the number one reason I don't like that game is because I just don't like the environment. I just don't like walking around in that world. Send your hate mail this way. I know, I'm sorry. I just don't like the world. You know, a good famous friend of mine by the name of Brad Ellis once told me, if the environment is crap, I'm out. I agree with him. So it's time for comments, but unfortunately, I'm in China looking for Lon D, so I had to film this episode out of sequence. It's total chaos. The comments weren't up for the God of War episode at the time of shooting, but this being about environments, we already know one comment, so we can address that. Ruari. Yo Huber, sewers, what the hell? Some of the greatest environments in all of video games. You know, Ruari, I disagree. I hate trudging through sewers, but you know, The Last of Us has some great sewers, and I actually just played Metro 2033 Redux, some really good sewers in there, but you know, not good enough to make the cut. So that's it. I am at Michael P. Huber. Please share with me your most passionate, intimate moments with environments, what you love, what you just, you know, those moments where you just stop and you just stare. I had that moment so many times with The Witcher 3 over the weekend. I was just, you know, I said, yo, I'm doing environments for Huber Hype because they're just so awesome. Seriously, I would just stand there and stare. It was 1:30 in the morning. My girlfriend is asleep in bed, asleep. Run in, say, you gotta look at this. Wake her up, pull her out of bed, say, look at this right now. She's like, it looks good. That was it, environments. Let me know some of your favorites. Have a good day. Time for Ruby's Cube. There's a lot of games out right now, but there can only be. Get out.
Hey,
get out.
Hey,
Get out. Get out.
You don't play it. You can't talk about it.
Welcome to Eorzea, boys!
Eorzea, come this way. You gotta play Final Fantasy XIV. It's shockingly delightful. It's jolly.
It makes up for 10 years of 13 sins.
Yeah.
Single-handedly.
Yeah.
I care more about the story in an MMO than I ever did for Lightning.
It's a good
story.
I didn't
for
think it was
MMO.
possible.
How's it
For an
possible?
MMO.
All the
for
jobs
MMO.
are amazing. in it.
Yeah.
I can't pick who I want to play. Every single environment in that game is a
It's
delight.
beautiful.
It's a delight.
And they're cool, like, outfits.
Plus,